Hello, Business 630, Corporate Finance. This is Professor Hassey speaking to you live and in color from Claremont, California. It's our week 6 introduction video for our remote lecture class on July 14th at 6 p.m. Our topic this week is continuing the discussion of capital budget analysis, specializing in risk analysis. I have a file posted in Blackboard that I'll review in my lecture on Wednesday and walk through this analysis. And we started it last week and we'll continue it on this week, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So we'll be concentrating on chapters 10 and 11, and also concentrating on some articles that I have posted in Blackboard for our class discussion next Wednesday, the 21st of July. These articles relate to other topics and strategies that we're going to be discussing in the remaining second half of our class. And so I'd like you to read those, and I'll show you those in just a minute. You're continuing your case number 2 work, which is due a week from tomorrow, Tuesday, July 20th. If you have any questions or concerns, I will be available in class on Wednesday night or throughout the week. I've already received some drafts from some students to review. So if you have any drafts for me to review, please feel free to go ahead and email me them for review. And then this week in our class on Wednesday, I'll introduce the capital budgeting case, which you'll do, which is due the last week of our class, August 15th, and we'll review that. That is a case, basically what we're talking about these last 2 weeks. Capital budgeting, you're going to put one together, do a risk analysis, and then explain it to me in an APA format paper. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. Here's our Blackboard file folder, which I'm sure many of you are getting very familiar with. Again, if you go to the case study format or file folder, there's our case number 2, which is due in a week, basically in a week, July 20th. It's a PowerPoint presentation, minimum 10 slides about a financial analysis of the company that you selected way back in week 1 of our course. Here's our week 6. And as you can see, here's the spreadsheet that I'm going to be reviewing in our class, which will be a great template for future case studies. So be sure you download that and follow along with me, or even look at it prior to class on Wednesday. Here are the articles that I'd like you to read and review. We're not going to discuss them this week, but we will discuss them next week in class, and they relate to other strategies and topics we'll be talking about in the final weeks of our course. Also, and this is not required as our course, but I've posted this video that's over 8 years old by a gentleman named Ray Diallo, who's also a very famous hedge fund manager and owner. It's a very good video about how the economic machine works in the United States. I think it serves as a good backdrop to our discussions in this course. It's not required. You're not going to be asked to do any analysis of this or explain it in any case studies. But it might be good for some of you to see this. It gives you a good perspective on how our economy works in the relationship to capital and our discussions in this course. So if you have time, it's a long video, it's about 30 minutes. But if you have time, I urge you to watch it. It's pretty good. Also, it's in our YouTube playlist as well. Here's that spreadsheet I was just talking about that's going to be the center of our discussion on Wednesday evening. Here's the capital budgeting steps that we talked about last week, and we're going to be concentrating on the final step. Is our data reliable? How risky is our data? We're going to review the cost of capital. And then here's the base case, and I'm going to start from scratch and put this together. In other words, we have all the inputs here on the left-hand side. I'm going to put this together and determine the 4 return allocations. And then once we finish that, we're going to put together the scenario and the sensitivity analysis and do a risk analysis of this. You'll be asked to do this in your capital budgeting case paper that's be posted this week and due on August 15th. So this is important stuff to review about strategies involved with, is the data reliable that you're basing your strategies on? So that's this spreadsheet that we'll be talking about in class Wednesday evening. So as we wrap up our introduction video for this week, again, concentrate on risk and scenario and sensitivity analysis as risk analysis of a capital budget. Look at those articles for this week. Work on your case number 2. If you have any questions, we can discuss them on Wednesday. Looking forward to seeing you all this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And until then, adios.